So happy to see my next guest back in action. We got a lot of time before our fight, but there's a lot that's been going on since we last saw her in the cage. Of course, happy to be joined by Lauren Murphy, UFC Fight Night, July 12th. Lauren, how's it going? Long time no talk.
Yeah, it has been a long time. Good. Everything's good. I'm in Denver right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, camp has started, so I went to sparring today. Got my little schedule laid out, which is really exciting. I love being here in Denver too. Like I like the energy up here. It's good.
Yeah, altitude, all that good stuff. Are you still just doing your camps in Denver? Or still living back in Texas? What's the latest with that? Because it's been a while since we've done an interview.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I still live in Houston. I love Houston. I love Texas. And honestly, like I'm gonna go right, like I miss it so much. It was hard to leave to come out here, but um yeah, my life is all set up in Texas, man. And so I come out to Denver, I can just focus on the fight. I can just do like be super selfish. Everything's all about me. I just eat, sleep, and train, eat, sleep, and train. And at home, it's like we got businesses to run and like we have our dogs, and my dog just had like a major surgery, and so
Okay.
Joe's taking care of her, and like it's just really busy at home. There's no time to be selfish, and so when the UFC offered me this fight, it was like, you know, this is a really good opportunity, and I really wanted to take it, and I just had to make sure everything was squared away before I could leave. So
Let's go all the way back. Jessica Andrade, the fight in 2023. We haven't seen you since then. What's been keeping you out, Lauren? What's the latest?
well, after that fight, I was like pretty sad.
Yeah.
I definitely did not have the performance that I was like hoping to have in that fight or thought I could have. And it took a while to like recover from that mentally. So just like looking back on what I did wrong in that camp and looking back on what I could do better next time. And almost immediately after that fight, I came back to Texas, and I called a company called Deep End Fitness. And they're now like a worldwide company, but at the time they were in only a few states. And I love their program. I believe in it like wholeheartedly. And so I called them and I was like, how can I start this in Texas? Or actually, how can I start this in Houston? And they were pumped about it. And so I got like the LLC started. I got like some locations set up. I got my coaching license through them to coach like aquatics. I got my lifeguard certification. So I started an aquatic fitness business, and I own Deep End Fitness Houston now, and we have a couple different
Nice.
locations. Yeah, and I have a business partner, and like it's a really cool program. I don't know what this is. Anyway, it's a really cool it's a cool program, and I really believe in it a lot for a lot of different reasons. And then of course we also have like our jujitsu gym. We own a Henzo Gracie, and my husband is like the lead professor black belt there, so he's at that gym all the time. I help out as much as I can. Like for a while I was teaching a women's class. I help teach the kids. I'll cover like no gi classes or even some gi classes, but it's our gym. That's our retirement. So
Nice.
yeah, I just had like a lot of life happen, a lot of good stuff happen, but fighting's not forever. You have to be, set up after your fighting career, because the money doesn't last, and you can't, we only get to fight for like this long. So I feel really bad for fighters that get out of the fight game and don't have really anything of value to like fall back on or live off of, or like direction to take their life afterward. And I'm just super grateful that that's not me, and that I do have like businesses that I'm looking forward to going and running. I have a great family. Like um I've done almost everything in the fight game that I wanted to do, which I think is like more than most people get to do. So
Absolutely. No,
yeah,
I
so
agree.
honestly, like, yeah, I feel really good about like where I'm at in life. I feel really good about this fight, and like I'm excited. I'm excited to go do it one more time, and I know when I come out on the other side, like I have this amazing life waiting for me.
Good for you. Well, first off, that's awesome to hear. Like, again, you're exactly right. There isn't like a retirement plan for a lot of fighters. They kind of have to
Yeah.
figure it out. So that's cool that you've been able to find this, multiple things that are going on that are working out great for you. Why was now the right time to come back? Like, obviously we're talking, I mean, to be honest, we're talking your end of April. You got to fight in July. You got lots of time before the fight, but in general, I just mean like, why was now good? Like, was it just getting in a routine and you're like, okay, the businesses are good. Now we can focus on getting one more fight. Cause I imagine if I had to guess, you didn't want to go out like that. So you wanted to get at least one more, right?
Yeah, you're exactly right. So I came back home, and it's like I'm not in my 20s either. Do you know what I mean? I'll be
Mhm.
42 this year. And so after that fight with Jessica, it was like, do I still want to keep fighting?
Mhm.
Like, and if I do, like what adjustments do we have to make? Obviously, like and it just took me a really long time to get to a place where I was like, you know what, I don't want to go out like that. I don't want that to be like my last fight. I know I can do so much better. Um, and I had started these businesses, but I definitely was not in a place where I could leave like either of them. Like the
Yeah.
gym was just growing and the aquatic fitness business. I needed a really good partner to help me so that I could leave it in somebody's hands. And it all seemed like it fell together kind of like at the perfect time.
Mhm.
Like I found a guy to help me run the business. He's like a former recon Marine and he taught dive school to Air Force and Marines in Panama City. So it's like, he really is a very, very, it would be like if a black belt walked into our Henzo Gracie school and like wanted to teach, he was
Yeah.
very qualified for the position, super easy to work with. So I definitely couldn't be out here. If he hadn't, his name is Stephen Smith, if he hadn't like stepped up and been so willing to be a business partner with me and to continue Deep End Fitness while I'm not there, like I couldn't have done it without him. And the jujitsu gym is in a really good place. We have like over 100 members now. I think we have like
Nice.
150, something
Yeah.
like that. And like just it's really, yeah, it's really cool. And so that took time to grow and to get to a spot where I even felt like, oh shit, like okay, now I can focus on a fight and I don't have to worry about the businesses. And at one point, I was going to be on like UFC 299 against Karine Silva,
Mm.
and I I went to the PI, and I was too big to make weight. I was like,
Okay.
yeah, I was literally like too fat to fight. And I didn't mean for it to happen that way, but it was like Christmas, and like
Oh,
I'd
of
been out
course.
for
Yeah.
so long. And
Yeah.
and so that actually really made me get my ass in gear. And I started like watching my diet and getting in better shape. And then I did ask the UFC for a fight and they put me on the shelf for quite a while, I think, because of the thing with Karine. I think
Okay.
because they were like, we offered you a fight, you took it, then you said you were too fat. So like you're gonna get put on the back burner for a while,
Mhm.
which I was fine with. I was like, like, well, I'm gonna let
You
this
got
play
things to
out
work
the
on. Yeah. Like in terms of your businesses
yeah.
and stuff, right? So, yeah.
That and like I can always, I can always get sharper technically. And I feel like I have been working. So I stay sparring like with the girls up at War. That's like Rain Guerrero, Alex Lawal's about to make her Invicta debut. Mia Graw's out there, Sandy Jerez. So I get really good rounds with all them girls. Um, like, for the last however long I've been out, 2 years or something. And I've come out to Denver a few times and done camps like with JJ Aldrich and stuff. So, and I've done some jujitsu comps. Like I've stayed in the game, and it just like after that thing where I was like, I'm too fat to like make weight. I literally cannot make weight in like 6 weeks. Um, After that, it just really motivated me to get in shape and get my ass in gear. And so I did. And I was like, okay, I'm going to ask the UFC for a fight. And like, whatever they come up with, I'm just going to trust the universe that that's what's supposed to happen. And so, eventually they did get back to me and they were like, you want to fight in Nashville? And I said, hell yeah. And they offered Eduarda Moura. And I hadn't really seen her fight, but I think it's a really good matchup. She's a young up and comer. She's like 11-1. She's got a ton of finishes. Yeah, it's gonna be a good test for me.
Yeah, for sure. Did you know much about her before accepting this fight, or was it one of those fighters you had to go look up?
Yeah, I went and looked her up, but it's like, I'm always like that.
Yeah.
I'm always like, who?
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, no, for sure. No, and again, you got so much going on. It certainly makes sense. So take me through camp in Colorado. Like you mentioned JJ Aldrich. Who are you working with? Who are some of the training partners that are getting you ready for this one?
Well, right now, me and JJ are working out together. There are a bunch of girls like in and around the gym that just kind of come and go. I know Macy's doing a camp out here right now. I don't know if I'm gonna work with her or not, just because she's like, I think she's about to fight pretty soon,
Yeah,
right?
she's fighting
Like it's
Aaron
coming up.
Blanchfield in a few weeks here
Yeah.
for that main event.
Yeah, in
So
just a few weeks. And so not sure if I'm gonna like work with her very much, but I'm definitely gonna work with JJ. I love working with JJ. I love working with Carrington Banks. He's like my coach out here. He's kind of
oh,
like
cool.
him and
Because I just
JJ.
interviewed Corey Sanagan last week. He works with him a
Yes.
lot. He loves Carrington
Hmm.
Banks as far as like a coach,
Yeah.
you know?
Yes, exactly. Yeah, he's an amazing coach. I hope Banks gets like more shine coming up because he's really like a unique coach in the MMA space. He's different than almost any coach I've ever worked with. Like he just has a really great point of view on like winning and losing, how to prepare for fights, the mentality you need to have around fighting and how to hone that and develop it.
Mhm.
And yeah, he's just kind of a different coach in the MMA space and I really really love working with him. I think a lot of coaches in the MMA space could learn a lot from guys like Carrington Banks and like Tim Welch and some of these young up and coming coaches
Mhm.
that are working with really good fighters.
Yeah, no, well said. And the thing with Carrington is, like you said, like I talk to people in the industry, they know all about him, but like he's not one of these like, top of mind coaches when you talk about like the best coaches. And I think that almost makes him better because it's about the coaching. It's not about him, right? Sometimes you do see these coaches where it's more about them than the fighters, right? So,
Hey, there's a lot of coaches in the MMA space trying to get coach of the year.
right. That too. That too. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah.
they trying hard to get coach of the year. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? And it's
Yeah.
like, that's cool if you all focused on yourself, but Carrington focuses all on his fighters and like,
Yeah.
and their mentality and where they're at. And like, I think, yeah, he's just an amazing coach. I really hope that like after this, when I'm done fighting, I still hope to come out and work with him just so I can keep learning from him and take like all the stuff that he's taught me. I'm definitely going to pay it forward and like teach other fighters that are coming up some of the things that he's taught me. So
Very cool. Now explain this to me, because I don't know if this is part of your camp or not, but this whole fight with Miranda and Rose Namajunas, like how weird is that? Because I know that they were kind of training together, and now like who's even training where? Like I'm guessing Rose is probably like I'm guessing Miranda's the one that had to not train with the rest of the girls. Like, do you have any insight to that? Because when they made that fight, I was kind of like, man, this has got to be a bit awkward, right?
right, that's kind of what I thought too. I was like,
Yeah.
awkward, because I think they've done their last couple camps like
Together,
together,
yeah.
you know. And honestly, I haven't seen either one of them. Miranda is at like Easton and Pound for Pound.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
And yeah, and I'm at high altitude. So we might cross paths during camp. There's another gym up here in Denver where Rose trains and Genesis. It's up in North Denver. And sometimes I'll go up there and get rounds with the girls up there, or like say hi to the coach up there because it's a really cool gym. So if I had to guess, I would say that's where Rose is probably going to train for her camp. And she'll probably come into high altitude a few times too, I'm
Okay.
hoping. And then Miranda will probably stay at Easton and Pound for Pound. That's just probably how I see it going. But yeah, that's a good call. I didn't know if any of the media was really gonna latch on to the fact that they were like working together.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
it's just a weird fight. Like I get it, it's business. You have to take the fights you're offered or whatever. Usually it happens more in a title situation, right? But I guess maybe the UFC is just like, hey, we need to match fighters up or whatever. And it's an interesting time in Colorado because I don't know if you're aware, like there's a lot of stuff that's happened. Obviously, like the there's the one gym that was Elevation is now kind of there's different coaches that have gone to different areas now, and then even Factory X, like Brandon Royval and a few of them left, and now they're doing their own thing. Like it's kind of it's almost to some fighters has been beneficial because you got a guy like Brandon getting to work with Corey Sandhagen now. That couldn't have happened a little while back because I think Factory X sort of had like a closed door policy. I don't know if you're kind of aware of what's going on over there with all that stuff, right?
It's just like normal drama for an MMA gym. Honestly, like me and Joe talk about it all the time. It's like people are always getting pissed at their coaches. They leave the gym. There's always a big fight. They take a bunch of their friends with them. It seems like a huge deal at the time. They go somewhere else. They settle in. More fighters will eventually come through. Two people over there get into an argument. Somebody's fucking somebody's wife. Somebody beat somebody else up in sparring that they weren't supposed to. Like so-and-so's coach is giving too much attention to this other person, or like fucking he didn't ask me to corner him when he should have. It's always fucking something. It's always fucking something. And people leave gyms all the time. Like the turnover rate in an MMA gym is so fucking high. And this is just like these days I just kind of try and worry about myself because it's like
Smart.
is awkward anywhere. If you go to any of the big gyms like Syndicate, Extreme, fucking, any of the big gyms out here in Denver, it's like, yeah, it's cool to be a good teammate, and I am a good teammate. Like I enjoy the people I work with, but I would be doing myself a disservice if I got all wrapped up in their personal bullshit and didn't just focus on me, so that shit's always going to be there. It's always going to come and go. Even like the shit with like Rose and Miranda, like even if it is awkward, it's like this is not the last time two teammates will be matched up, and like one will take the matchup and maybe one didn't want to or whatever. Like it's MMA is so wild. I love it. I love the drama. I love it. As long as it don't involve me. If I could just watch it from a distance, I love it.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Yeah, no, that's good. You kind of kept yourself out of it. You mentioned the weight. Obviously, we got a lot of time before the fight. Like, how's that going right now? Everything. I mean, we got a lot of time, but everything going okay there?
Oh yeah, look at me. Like I'm looking slim. Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm doing good. I'm walking around at a really good weight now, and like I feel strong and like healthy, so really no worries about any of that. Like health wise, I feel like I'm in a very good place. Oh yeah, that was another thing that actually happened that kept me out for a while. I broke my ankle.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that would be good.
Yeah, 1 year ago.
Okay.
And so I had like started training. I was like whatever, doing my thing. I think it was after the Karine Silva thing. And so I was like, hey, maybe we start looking for a fight. And I came out and the first practice, the first day that I was out here in Denver, I like looked down and I had staph on my leg.
Oh
And I
no.
was like, oh shit. And it was pretty
Yeah.
bad. So I went and got like antibiotics. Took me like a week to recover. So I flew home. I went back to Texas and then I came back to Denver. And the first practice, the first day, I broke my ankle.
Oh damn.
And so I was like, the universe is telling me like right now is not the time. It's like I think the universe was just like, hey, you're not going to fight right now. Like you're going to grow your businesses and it's not time to fight, and when it's time to fight you'll know it. And that's exactly how I think things went down.
Your corner. I imagine Joel will be in your corner. Who's going to be in the cage with you?
Probably. You know what? This is kind of weird. Not a lot of people know this, but I never put Joe in my corner until the last minute.
Okay.
Because it's so hard because we're like a couple.
Yeah.
It's gotten easier now that I go away for camps, but any couple that like corners each other, they'll tell you it can get like hard. You have to have extremely fucking good communication, and it helps a lot that Joe's a really, really, really exceptionally patient man. But yeah, for sure, Carrington will be in my corner. I'm
Nice.
gonna use Valor. What is his last name? Caballero.
Okay.
So he corners like Chepe Mariscal, he
Yeah.
corners JJ Aldrich. So I'm really enjoying working with him. This is like the first camp where I've really used him, but I've worked with him many times, like that I've been out here in Denver. But this is the first time he'll be in my corner. And then the third, it'll probably be Joe. It might be JJ, honestly, because we just work so well together. Like I might just have her come and warm me up in the locker room or something.
How's this fight playing out on July 12th? How do you see it unfolding?
I see me getting a finish and going out on a win. Same, I'm going out the same way I came in, both middle fingers up.
There we go. I love it. I love it. What's crazy, since we were talking about, the last time you fought, the division hasn't really changed a whole lot if you think about it, because of this whole Alexa Grasso Valentina thing. Valentina finally defending her title next Saturday against Manon Fiorot. Some new blood in the middle, in the mix. You fought Valentina. How do you think next Saturday's fight's going to go between them?
I hope she beats Manon. I
Mhm.
hope she beats Manon just because I mean Manon is big and strong and like she's a good kickboxer, but kickboxing really is Valentina's like game. And so
Yeah.
is the clinch and like Valentina's just really good everywhere. I think Manon's size and strength might give Valentina some problems because Valentina's actually kind of small for the division.
Mhm.
Um, and so that would be the only thing I see that might give Valentina some problems is Manon's size and strength. But I'm really hoping that Valentina takes it. I like having Valentina as a champion in the division. I like her rivalry with Alexa Grasso. I think they're both just so amazing. And honestly, I think Manon's kind of boring. Like
Okay.
I would hate to see her be the champ because she would just like stick and move, stick and move, and stick and move, and stick and move. And it would be 25 minutes of her stick and moving for every title defense. And I just am not thrilled to watch that like as a fan. I'm
Mhm.
sure that as a fighter she's great, but like I would rather watch Valentina fight. I would watch Valentina fight Alexa like 10 times in a row. That was so good.
Yeah, it was quite the rivalry. So you want Valentina to win. Do you think she wins, though? Some people feel like she does have more tools than Manon to get it done.
I think so. And I think her losing to Alexa was like one of the best things that could have happened to Valentina,
Mhm.
because she'd been a champ for so long and she probably did get really comfortable. And like, I think Alexa kind of took that away from her and was like, hey, bitch, you can't get comfortable. And
Yeah.
just watching like Valentina in her next performance, I think she like took that lesson to heart,
Okay.
which I just love her. Honestly, I'm like, that's so awesome. She wasn't like broken. She came back better. She like fixed the holes in her game, and didn't let Alexa exploit them again. I just
Yeah.
think that's awesome. So
And especially, we've seen so many champs lose their belt and not be able to get back to prominence or get the belt back. So it's cool that like her and Volk recently, right? Same thing. I know it was a
yeah.
vacant title, but still, it's really awesome to see them like keep going. It doesn't matter. Age is just a number. It doesn't really matter, right? So that's all good. I guess the other thing that's going on in your division, there's some talk about Weili Zhang maybe fighting the winner. Is that something you want to see to
Uh
kind of shake things up? What do you think of Weili coming up to
Fuck
your weight class?
yeah, dude. Who doesn't want to watch Weili fight? Like
Yeah.
I love watching her ass fight. So anytime she's fighting, I'm tuning in. And even if it's in my division, it's like I've done it. I was in the top 5. Like I did all that and I fought my way there. And like nobody could ever take that from me. Nobody
Yeah.
can ever take away the fact that I was a top 5 fighter in the world for whatever amount of time. I was really, really good for my time. And I'm so excited to like end my career and go be a fan. Like
Mhm.
I don't know, the girls are so good. The fights are fun to watch most of the time. But really the top 5 is exciting. I like watching Macy fight quite a bit. I like watching Alexa. Rose. Yeah, if Weili was in there, holy shit, what a division it would be. That'd be amazing. The
Do
only
you
problem
see?
with Weili is
Yeah,
she's already fought Rose, right? So,
yeah.
but I guess that's the only one. Okay, yeah. All right.
Fair enough. Well, no, there's a lot of there's like Aaron, there's obviously Manon. There's a whole bunch of fresh matchups for Weili there, and I think with the way she performed against Tatiana Suarez, like how impressive of a win that was, there is that intrigue to
Yes.
see if she could potentially beat the winner of next Saturday's fight. Do you see Weili potentially becoming a champion in your weight class?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
I think Weili could definitely give anybody a hard time, even Valentina. Yeah, I would actually really love to see that. Honestly, I would
that's
love
such
to
a
see
big fight if they were able
Valentina.
to make like now that again we'll have to see how next Saturday goes. But can you imagine Valentina and Weili Zhang? How good of a fight that would be?
Dude, do International Fight Week, please. Like,
Yeah,
you're right. We have to see how next week goes, but kind of even no matter what, like if Valentina wins, then let Weili fight for the title, and if
yeah,
Valentina were to lose, she'd be the number one contender again, and let Weili fight her for contendership. That either way, I'm
yeah.
good with it, man. That'd be sick.
That'd be awesome. Okay, so last question, and you kind of said it here, but is this the last one? Like you kind of said, like you want to go off. Is it win or loss, or are you going to see how the fight goes? Like what's sort of your expectation with this fight, and what's because you got the career already lined up, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like, yeah, this is the last one. And my whole career, I always said, like, I never want to know when my last one's going to be.
Mhm.
And I just kind of changed my mind about that. It's like, I love my career. I'm very proud of what I've done. I love all the experiences that I've had. I love how like far I was able to take myself. And I want to go out on my terms, like giving my best. I want to go out fighting. I want to go out swinging. And like, to me, that's honorable. And to be tested against the up and comer is a really honorable way to like go out, win
Mhm.
or lose. And yeah, just kind of put the final button on my career. I'm really enjoying like this camp. I'm enjoying this process right now. I mean, talk to me in like 5 weeks, but like
Right. Yeah.
for now, I'm like really enjoying this process. And um yeah, I've never really felt like this before where I just like I feel so content and like I'm like, man, I've always and I do have goals still like for this fight to, I have goals in this fight that I want to achieve, but it's like, man, I've really done almost everything I wanted to do in the fight game, really.
Yeah.
And it's been a wild ride and it's been so fun and like I don't know, I just want to go out swinging, I guess, and go out fighting my heart out like
Yeah.
to me that seems like the best way to do it and not like it felt like if I stopped fighting after that fight with Andrade, it felt like I would be leaving with my tail tucked between my legs,
Okay.
and I didn't want my last fight to be like a terrible performance and let that break me. Like I really wanted to be like, yeah, I like fucked up and I had a terrible performance, but I picked myself up and I dusted myself off one more fucking time and I came in here better than I was last time one more fucking time and I'm going to win one more time and like that's how I'm going to go out.
Warren, you're the best. Thanks for doing this. Looking forward to it. I know we got some time, but I'm already, stoked to see how this one goes. It's UFC Fight Night, July 12th. Anyone you want to thank before we get out of here? Any of your businesses? Anything you want to plug? As I usually do, I'll give you the last word.
Thank you for sure. So I'm wearing an Alchemized hoodie. I love this color and I love their gear. It's for women by women. So
Nice.
this is Alchemized Fightwear is only for females. And 10% of all their proceeds go to domestic violence victims and shelters and resources for domestic violence victims. And so I love that. They sponsor a lot of women in the fight world. They're just a really cool company. And so I encourage everybody, Alchemized Fightwear. And then of course I have a code. It's Lucky Lauren and you get 10% off. And you could even do that like on top of their sales. So if they have a sale on anything and then you put like Lucky Lauren in, you get an extra 10% off. So sometimes you be getting some good ass fight gear for like $50, you know?
Nice.
So
Okay.
yeah, I love being sponsored by them. I love representing them. And then yeah, Deep End Fitness has just been a game changer for me. There's one out here in Denver. I don't own it, but I'm definitely going to hit it up. And like, if you're an athlete and you're not doing Deep End Fitness, if you're not swimming for your cardio and for your mental stamina, you're doing yourself a disservice, man. Like if you're fighting, you should give it everything you have and definitely the water is a great equalizer. It will push you to your limit.